Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Again, thank you all so much for your support. It's really motivating me to continue making these videos. I'm not gonna lie, my day job has been extremely stressful, as you can tell here, 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 and here. So it's been a rough ride for me. So this is my way of de-stressing, to show my passion and my art to the world. And it's been my biggest therapy. So a lot of people who know me know that I do makeup more for the artistry and because it's taught me a lot about myself and my inner struggles. So today, we're not going to be getting sad on this episode, don't worry. Today we're going to focus mainly on a nice cut crease, very soft, very well blended. As usual, I'm going to do most of my base makeup off camera, so it's for the sake of time, okay? I can't be showing you over and over and over again what I do on my face. Just go back and refer to the first video. It'll be a lot easier. The purpose of my videos is to grow upon the knowledge you're learning throughout this content. So again, I urge you guys, leave comments, let me know what you guys want me to focus on and what type of makeup style you're most interested in. So without further ado, if you guys are interested to see how I go from this to this, then keep on watching. And we're back. So as you can tell, I've done most of my face off camera, even the brows. So today we're just going to be focusing on the eye look. So like I said, it's going to be more of a cut crease, very soft, very well blended. You're really only going to need one palette unless you happen to need other colors. You make it to your liking. I want you to be able to express yourself the way you like to with your color schemes, okay? So for today, I am choosing Anastasia Beverly Hills Rose Metals collection, okay? So this is a very beautiful palette. It has a bunch of metallic undertones. There's some reds, there's some browns, there's a taupey color here, and as you can tell, I love this gold shade here. So you're really gonna like this look, trust me. I love it. It's one of my signature looks, so I wanted to show you all how I do it, okay? Again, to start off, you always want to put a little bit of setting powder underneath the eyes. You do not want to ruin the hard work that you already put in this face, or your face in that matter. So again, you're gonna get some of the powder, just put it inside the cap, okay? And then I'm using Ariel's Morphe brush. This is A1. They still sell these, so if you can snag these, I do highly recommend. They're very high quality. So again, patting it underneath the eye, and you want to saturate this, okay? Because if you do not add enough powder, you risk getting a lot of fallout. And remember, this is acting as a pattern for you to place your eyeshadow, okay? Use this as a blueprint. I also like to go around the nose, okay? And then, because I'm very oily, I'm just gonna dab it all over my nose because I know that it's going to get everywhere, okay? After you look like a hot mess, you will thank me later, trust me. This really does make a huge difference in the makeup application. All right, now that you're all dusted and looking a little dry, now, if you have very dry skin, I would probably avoid putting that much powder on top. Unless you've really prepped your under eyes with good hydration, it's not something you want to overdo, okay? In your case, you would probably be better off doing your eyes first rather than doing them last. In my case, I can put as much powder as I want, and it doesn't really matter, okay? I am going to be cheating a little bit. I have my trusty mirror here. So for the more detailed work, I do need to look in the mirror, but for the most part, I'm going to try to do it on camera, or in front of the camera, I should say. Okay? Let's start off first with Our first color we are going to place down. So I always like to start off with a taupey transition shade before I start going into my deeper shades. So for that one, I'm going to get a nice fluffy brush. So this is my Ariel. This is an A1 as well. What the heck? That is weird. They're both A1s, but they look completely different. This is more for setting underneath the eye. This is an actual eyeshadow brush. So anyways, I'm gonna get this taupey shade right here, and I'm going to saturate the brush, but always topping off the excess because you don't want all that fallout on your eyes. So you're gonna start right at the crease area. And I usually like to pat it in first. Okay, so when I do patting motions, I'm able to distribute the product without having too much fallout to come off onto my cheeks. Once I've patted most of the product in, I can go back and gently, remember, you're always grabbing at the end of your brush. It's never here. If you grab here, you're putting too much pressure. You have to grab from the very end of the tip. This is going to help with precision. You want a nice, soft, light hand. So like I said, gentle blending back and forth. Windshield wiper motions. You can go circular motions, however you wish to apply your eyeshadow, whatever you prefer. You know, this is a channel about experimentation. I don't want you guys to actually always follow what I do 100%. I want you to get an idea of what I do, but not adapt what I do on your face, because my face is different from your face, okay? Again, just slowly diffusing that color. Okay, so I have that shade on. Now I'm gonna start adding a deeper shade into my outer corner, okay? With that, I do wanna get a more tapered brush. So I'm gonna go for this Makeup by Mario E3 brush. See how it's a little bit flattened? This is a very soft brush. It's a little bit flattened, but it's easier to do more detailed work in the eye. So with that, I'm going to grab this darker shade here. It is in the color Noble. The other one that I was using, I'm sorry, was called Ashes. It's just a taupey brown. This one's more of a chocolatey warm brown. So again, if warm shades are not your thing, you can use cool shades. You have to use it to your own personal preference, okay? All right, so enough of me blabbing. Let's go ahead and start, again, tapping. I automatically wanted to start blending, but then I realized, no, that's not a good idea. So again, you want to keep this in the outer V portion of the eye. Tapping motions first, and then blending. You always kind of want to blend a little bit underneath the transition shade. So the closer you get to your eye, the darker the color should become. You want your lightest shade up closer to your brow bone, or the brow, and your darkest shades closest to the eyelids, okay? I'm just gonna be blending back and forth now that I've properly distributed the color. There we go. Let me get my mirror just to make sure I don't look like a hot mess. Oh, we're doing good. Like I said, it is so much harder doing the makeup on camera. It's different when I do someone else's makeup. It's a lot easier because I'm looking at them directly, but this, I'm looking at the camera. So you guys are very lucky that I am experimenting with the camera and doing my best. You know, I really do want to teach the masses how to do their makeup because it's a passion of mine. Like I said, makeup itself really did save my life at one point. Without it getting too emotional, you know, I was in a very dark place. And it took me out of this funk that I was in for quite a while and helped me express my moods, you know, depending on how I was feeling. I would go more, you know, grungy or dark. If I was feeling happier, I would have more soft and beautiful colors. But like I said, it's been a journey for me, and I know it's a journey for many of you as well. So I think that's pretty blended out. I'm gonna go ahead and grab an even smaller brush, okay? With this one, I'm gonna add an even darker shade on top of that. So, I'm probably gonna go with Dune. So Dune is more of like a reddish brown shade here. This has more of a red undertone. It's still really pretty. And then I'm just kind of adding this to the crease area. Now, if you notice, I don't like going all the way over here, and there's a reason for that. I want to give you an elongated and lifted look. I don't want the darker eyeshadow to come into your inner corner, because then that starts to round out the eyes. You know, you want something to lift the eye shape up. So again, just adding a little bit of this reddish brown. It's a really pretty color, and it complements this. So I'm just trying to deepen up the outer corner of my eye, give it some more dimension. There we go. Now I'm going to use a regular clean blending brush. So this is my Sephora Pro Crease number 26. I'm going in and just diffusing all of that color outward and upward. It's going to give you a beautiful gradient, you know? And that's what makeup really is. It's just learning how to blend it. You know, anyone can apply the color, but blending is the true skill. And that's something that I did not have at the very beginning. I've developed this over time, of course. You know, I've developed this craft. I've been doing this for quite some time, and then I stopped for a while because, you know, I wanted to conform to societal norms, and I just wanted to be like everybody else, but I realize I'm not like everybody else, and I need to be okay with that. Sorry, I guess I am a little bit more emotional than I'm usually. I'm gonna take a little bit of a swig, so don't mind me. I don't condone underage drinking, okay? So all of my younger followers, no, not for you. Anyways, we're gonna continue blending out the color until it's nicely diffused. I'm gonna look in my mirror just to make sure it's looking good. Yeah, that looks really good. Just realized I have all of this powder up here. Better. So now that we have our base on there, what I want you to do is you're gonna start adding your cut crease. And the way that you add it is very unique. And the reason why I want you to use a product that most people don't really tend to use as much, you want to use highlighter. The reason being is it really does create a very dramatic and stark contrast. So you want that to elongate upward and give you a nice box eye effect, okay? So with this one, I'm going to use a Morphe M124. I don't think they sell these anymore, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. But it's a flat paddle brush. So you wanna get something like this, okay, when you're applying this. Again, saturating the product, and then we're gonna use this to cut the crease and give that stark contrast. Can you see how it literally is just cutting the lid? And I didn't have to use any concealer. I didn't have to use anything else. The least amount of eyeshadow you add, the better it looks and lasts, okay? So you're gonna go upward, and this is where you have to start curving up towards the brow bone or underneath the brow. This is gonna start to give you that elongated eye shape. Don't go too down, because then you're gonna drag all that light down. And this is just the basis for the eyeshadow that you will place on top. So it's very strategic where you place this. I'm gonna look real quick in the mirror just to make sure I'm not making a mess here. So I've already learned my eye shape, what looks best on me. Again, you have to adapt to your own eye shape. Everyone's eyes are different, so if you have very hooded eyes, this may not work for you, okay? So just keep that in mind. I do want to have different models on my channel, so that way I can show different shapes, skin tones, and all of that. I do have a few lined up. Today I just happened to be by myself, so I was like, let's just film an eyeshadow look, you know? Give the girls and guys and everything in between what they want. So anyways, I know I'm blabbing too much today. I should be teaching, but I guess I'm just kind of in my feels today. It's been a rough week, so I'm a little bit more emotional than I usually am. So now that you have your basis for your cut crease, you're gonna go ahead and add your glimmer, or the eyeshadow that I love. This is gonna be Heavenly, this one down here. And this one, you want to add it with a packing brush. Now, you can use the same brush that you use with this. Actually, I would probably recommend just reusing this one because you're gonna swipe it. You know, you wanna swipe the glittery shades. You wanna swipe anything that has more glitter, shimmer, all of those. You wanna swipe them to get the maximum effect. When you pat those on, they tend to look a little bit, what's the word? Textury, and I don't like the way it looks on my eyelids. So again, less is more when it comes to the eyelid. Very thin skin, I should say, on the eyelid, so you got to be real careful with how much you're adding there. So again, I'm getting some of Heavenly, tapping off a bit of the excess, and I'm going and I'm swiping across. And you see how this is giving just way more beauty and dimension. It's such a gorgeous color. That's why I use it all the time. This one you don't want to go as high up, okay? This is going to be closer to your natural crease. I'm going to swipe. I can already feel the fallout there, but because of the powder that I put, it'll be easier just to brush that off. Let me get my mirror so I can just see that I don't look like a hot mess. Okay, it's looking pretty good overall. All right, so that is the basis of things. Very simple, very easy. This eye look won't take you longer than 20 minutes, honestly. Now what I'm gonna do is I have to add some to the bottom portion of my lash line. So I'm gonna go back into Noble again, and I'm gonna use the small brush that I used to apply that Dune shade, which was this reddish brown. So I'm just gonna go back in and sweep it underneath. Excuse me, I am just all over the place today. Welcome to my life, guys. But like I said, this is my therapy. This gets me through the difficult times in my life. All right, so I guess I could add a little bit of that Dune shade in there. It would look really pretty too. Just gonna have the colors blend all into one. And then you wanna go back with your blending brush. This is my Pro Crease 26. And you want to kind of diffuse out the lines a bit. Diffuse upward. You always want to kind of drag it up a little bit, gives you more of that elongated look. And we're going to clean this up, okay? So it looks a little muddy right now, but it's very easy to clean up, and I've shown you guys this trick before. So again, just kind of drag, circular motions, we're going up, just to diffuse that outward. Okay, so now that we have the basis of our colors, you can decide whether you want to add a wing liner or you want to zhuzh it up, so to speak. I'm going to leave it like this for today. I don't want anything too overly sparkly or dramatic. It's already dramatic enough as it is. So with that being said, we are getting this brush again. Apparently these two have the same number, so Ariel, not smart, you know, people are going to get confused. All right, so we're gonna just brush off all of that excess powder from the eyelid. Remember, I just show you guys on one eye first. I do the other eye off camera and then I'll show you the final look, okay? Brushing off all that excess. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some powder foundation. This is my trusty Makeup Forever in Y235. I love her. I'm very sad that I've already hit pan and this is the last of my collection, so I'm gonna have to go buy a new one. And I haven't tried their new formulation. I hear it's really good, but you know, once you find something that works for you, you really don't want to go to something else, okay? So for this one, I am actually using an eyeshadow brush. And the reason I like to use these is because they diffuse the color a little bit better. It blends in, it's not as stark. So this is my Sephora Pro Crease number 27, okay? Start in the inner corner and kind of start working down the nose. And then I go right underneath where I placed all of that eyeshadow. And then this is where the magic really starts to happen. And this starts to give that lifted effect to the eyes. And this is a little secret that a lot of makeup artists do as well, because we're not perfect, we make mistakes. So this is a good way of kind of carving out the eye shape. So that way you get that elongated look like this, okay? And then just kind of drag it out and upward towards the center like that. And again, you take your time, just buff it out. It shouldn't be a lengthy process, but you want to make sure it's properly blended, okay? All right. And then sometimes I like to go back with my other crease brush, the number 26, and just diffuse a little bit, just so that everything blends beautifully together. And that's what I like the most about, my makeup style is it's very blended. I'm very big on blending the makeup and making it look seamless with the skin as much as I can, because remember, makeup is never gonna be your skin. It's artificial, it's on top of the skin, but you can do tips and tricks that can kind of improve the look. Oh, great. Fernando just popped in. Thank you for coming in the middle of my video, sir. It's okay. Ooh, that looks cute. Okay. Well, we're going to some type of gathering with his coworkers, so, just making the best of the weekend, trying to be proactive. Okay, let me go ahead and finish up the other eye off camera, and I will be back with the finished look. Okay? And there y'all have it. This is the finished look. I did do my mascara off camera because I don't want to bore you with that routine again. You guys already know how to do that. But what do we think? I think it looks nice, but then again, I'm a little biased because it's my own work. But I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart for tuning into my channel. It really does make me happy knowing that there are people out there that are learning from me and want to continue to grow on their makeup journey. Like I said, it's been a rough week for me, so I've been going through a lot. But I'm not going to let that ruin my day, nor am I going to let it ruin this episode. So, well, thank you for tuning in to Beauty by Robbie. Once again, I wish you nothing but love, prosperity, and joy moving forward. Love you guys.